recovery. But as our national correspondent Rob Osborne has been finding out, that journey can be a long one.
Scott was fit and active before he caught coronavirus. It left him in hospital in a coma for weeks. But the most important steps he took were the ones when he first got out of bed.
Yeah, no. To me, pelvis to me.
You only have to see my legs on that video because I'm in a gown, so you can see the bottom half of my legs. You lose that much muscle mass and ability to do the simple things in relatively a short space of time. So in 5 weeks, I lost all my ability to walk, lift my arms, to clean my teeth, shave, feed myself. It was a real struggle, and it's emotional when I look at those videos.
The journey for you, it's not over yet, is it?
I won't be walking properly for 3 to 6 months, possibly.
I still have dreams that he's still in hospital, which is difficult. But slowly we're getting there, and it's just good to have Scott back home where he belongs.
I'm not as wobbly, but I'm still wobbly.
And Harrod helped Scott to walk again. And what she and her team mean to him is obvious in the thank you card he sent them. Are coronavirus patients different, or are they like any other person who's been in intensive care for a couple of weeks?
Post-ITU corona patients are very similar to normal post-ITU patients, and I think that's really important to note currently, that they all present with similar themes, although all patients are individuals. So common things that we see are physical disability because they've had prolonged bed rest, and they've also got some cognitive issues, partially from the sedation.
Beating coronavirus was just one step.
Absolutely. Survival of ICU is the first step. Recovery is for lifetime.
But given more than 3,000 post-corona patients have now been discharged from hospital, do we have enough physios and other medical teams to help support them?
Certainly, we need to ensure that we're taking maximum advantage of those that are able to operate in our community environments. I think some of this is about that upfront support in areas like physiotherapy while somebody's going through their hospital stay. But a lot of this, I think, is going to be about ensuring that we can wrap around some of the community support working with GP practices. And of course, our community-based services run from the health boards as well.
What's a daily goal for you now?
I'd love to be able to just run down a flight of stairs, make myself lunch and a cup of tea, and sit and eat it in the kitchen. It's a struggle to get down the stairs, and it's even worse coming back up.
Small things you appreciate now, isn't it?
Absolutely. You reassess your life, and you understand what are the important things, and it's family and fresh air, being able to be alive and walk before you think about materialistic things. Should I have a new car? Should I go on another holiday? My holiday, as far as I'm concerned, is sat in my garden with my children. It's unbelievable.
And one person who knows about that journey is former Liberal Democrat Assembly member William Powell. He's back at home after spending several weeks in hospital, very poorly with the virus, and that's where he can talk to us from now. Thank you very much for speaking to us. How are you feeling?
Good evening, Jonathan. To be honest, I'm feeling remarkably well, considering the journey that I've been on over the last 7 weeks. I was admitted to Neville Hall Hospital in Abergavenny on the 26th of March, and within about an hour and a half I was in ICU, and shortly after that was placed on a ventilator and in an induced coma for about just over a fortnight.
Is it fair to say you're lucky to be alive?
I think as I review the statistics and piece together the facts of the case, I certainly am incredibly fortunate still to be alive, and that's one of the things that does tend to haunt me occasionally, is that sense of the 32,500 plus who weren't so lucky in the UK, and I'm aware that that's a suppressed figure of the actual figure that's attributable to the virus, but that sense of incredible good fortune, but also an awareness of those who've been less fortunate.
We've heard a lot about people feeling fairly traumatised about their experience when they leave hospital. Is that something you can identify with?
Well, to be honest, I was in ICU for 3 weeks, and then I was on a closed rehab ward at Neville Hall for the subsequent 3 weeks. And I think in my case, that second 3-week period was absolutely crucial in terms of building my confidence, of enabling me to piece together what had occurred in the previous 3 weeks, and also the dedication, the kindness, the professionalism of the nurses, of the support staff, obviously of the medics, but also, picking up the point from your earlier interview, the critical work that was done to support me and help to remobilise me by the physio teams at the hospital, and their work enabled me to move from a Zimmer frame like Captain Tom in the first couple of days of getting out of bed, via a walking stick, to being able to walk unaided but somewhat unsteadily in the second half of that stay, and I'm eternally grateful to them for what they've enabled me to do. Now I've still faced challenges, stamina issues, and need to build up that muscle once again, as was referred to by Scott. But I'm determined to try to get there over time.
Now, you used to be in politics. How is the Welsh Government doing in this very testing of times?
Well, I mean, I have